There's a lot of stuff that I thought I had to do to overcompensate, but I was looking for masculinity in all the wrong places. What's gonna make me a man? I was like searching for it everywhere and anywhere. I just couldn't find it. I didn't even know what it was, because you can't search for something if you have no friggin' clue what it is. Who the F am I to tell you about remasculation? What qualifies me? And maybe a lot more importantly, how is this gonna help you? How can I help you? What qualifies me to help you? The short answer to that would be, wherever the heck you are now, or think you are, I've been there, probably worse. I feel your pain because I've gone through it. However your situation may seem to you, however weird or bad, or whatever it is, I've been there and worse. I wasn't born this way. I was born a sweet, nice guy, sweet boy, to some fairly affluent parents, a little brat, not a classic military brat, but my life was very similar. We were traveling a lot, usually between New York, LA, here, and Europe. And so that was really difficult for me to grow any roots, to grow any connections. It was like a potted plant that you can take anywhere, like a transplant. And I was also very insecure. My dad was never there, even though he was a strong man, overbearing man, good man, but he was never there. Not much anyway. And when he was there, he was always working. That was the opposite. I was like this ADD kind of, I invented ADD. I'm actually getting royalties for everyone who has ADD has to pay me a penny, and that's why I'm a billionaire per month. Everyone who has ADD has got to pay me royalties, because I invented, oh look, a squirrel. Shiny objects. Well, I was that kid. I couldn't get it together. My dad was kind of furious. There was like a bunch of women, my mom, my grandma, my sister, a couple of au pairs. I was surrounded by women, and I wanted to be liked by women. Oh, such a cute little boy. Yeah, well, that was a double-edged sword, my friend. So I became like this quintessential little soy boy, nice guy kind of wuss bag. And I was told, like, you have to be nice with women. The only one who ever told me otherwise was my mom. He said, no, you need to kind of be a man. My dad told me, you have to be a man. So, oh, that's what a man is, then I want to be one. So I was a wuss bag. And when I was 12, my parents moved to Germany. That was like, for all you enter here, abandon all hope, kind of like Dante's Inferno. It was the end of my life. I came from here, Florida, sunshine, to a country where the sun don't shine. And I mean that in more ways than one. For the Americans will understand that metaphor. So yeah, I was weak, spoiled, little kid, and I really didn't grow up. I was 6'2" at age 13, and I always wanted to be like smaller because everybody else was like 5'8". So I adopted bad posture. I didn't own anything, my masculinity. I didn't even know what that was. Because women cannot teach a man how to be a man. When I first lost my virginity at age 21, they said, you're kind of pretty good. Well, I practice a lot when I'm by myself. Or like the movie Road Trip. You've never had sex before? Oh, I've had lots of sex before, just never with another person. So that was me. The word incel is kind of dangerous these days. I just found out a little research the last few days and weeks. Apparently that's like a super alt-right kind of like the Joker new thing. But as basically an incel really just means an involuntary celibate, meaning you want to have sex, but you can't get none. So that was me. I just couldn't lose my virginity. I couldn't even give it away. I lost it finally to a 15-year-old, much older woman. I was 21, she was 36. And a little $12 motel on US 19, right here in St. Petersburg. But during my teenage years, I just couldn't get laid to save my life. So I really didn't know what to do with women. I mean, I knew how to have sex. I got that down pretty quickly, but I actually got even pretty good at seducing them after age 21. I made up for all the lost time, probably overcompensated by about a factor of 100. By age 30, I'd already slept with over 100 women. Not to brag, a little maybe, but I was overcompensating, and I did that. That pattern was everywhere. From like a little 150-pound weakling, I went to over 240 pounds. I started working out, went to Ecker College right here in St. Petersburg, and there was a lot of jocks. I said, "You're a little pussy, come with us, we'll make a man out of you." I joined Army ROTC, went through all that, basic training. I became 240 pounds, from 150 to 240 in about 2 years, without steroids. So I'd overcompensated for everything. I thought that was gonna make me a man. I didn't want a military career because some of my friends actually came back and not looking so good. So I kind of went another route, PMC, paramilitary. Thought that was gonna make me a man. Did make me a man. Made me a killer, but it didn't make me a man. There's a lot of stuff that I thought I had to do to overcompensate, but I was looking for masculinity in all the wrong places. None of it really. I was still not a man at all. I mean, I learned discipline, I learned a lot of stuff, courage. But I wasn't driven by a vision or by a mission or by values or let alone virtues. I didn't understand those were important. I thought he who dies with the most toys wins. You know, conspicuous consumption, as we used to call it. Materialism, fast cars. Started racing stock cars, mini stock, super stock. I actually won some races. I thought that was gonna make me a man. Or at least it was gonna make me feel better. And it kind of did, but it was like a shot in the arm. It never lasted very long. It just lasted maybe a day or a week. Oh, maybe the next girl will do it. Didn't do that. Finally found a girl, and she told me, "You're still a mama's boy. You really don't have any drive." This is before all the military shit. This is way later. This is still in college or end of college. She said, "Look, you know, there's no initiative. You don't have any ambition. At least not where it matters. You want to race cars, that's fine, but you're going to be a professional race car driver? I don't think so." Around the time that Niki Lauda had his famous fiery crash on the Nürburgring. So that put a damper to that. I didn't want to die in a flaming wreck. I came pretty close a couple of times. I had an engine blow up on me on the local racetrack. That wasn't fun. So I said, okay, maybe that's not it. What's going to make me a man? I was like searching for it everywhere and anywhere. I just couldn't find it. I didn't even know what it was, because you can't search for something if you have no friggin' clue what it is. It's like Gary Zukov, the guy who wrote The Heart of the Soul, U.S. Special Forces El Salvador, and he said, look, you know, I tried to be a man by joining U.S. Special Forces. I was thinking about that real hard, but he came back, all of a sudden he had PTSD, all these unresolved emotional issues, and he realized while he had learned to fight these outer demons, he was brave enough to be shot at without flinching much, but he still wasn't a man. He said nothing could prepare him for a far greater challenge, confronting his own inner demons, his own emotions, which in the military they don't give you a whole lot of leeway to confront. As those of you who've been in combat probably know what I'm talking about. If you confront your emotions, you're dead pretty quickly. And push comes to shove. So that wasn't it. Finally found, so this girl in college, she left me. You're kind of still a boy, overgrown boy. But I'm missing something. You're not really a man. Whenever she created drama, I didn't know what that meant, where it came from. I didn't know what to do about it. Like most men don't. When a woman creates drama, it has a bunch of reasons. Usually that you're weak in your leadership. I was so desperately trying to be a man that I might mess it up even worse. The more you're trying to be something you're not,